Hello, friends. I'm Joseph Dillard. Welcome to the Integral Deep Listening video curricula. This is the fifth of a five-part series on integral deep listening goal setting. And now that we have looked at what makes ideal goal setting unique and effective, setting and measuring goals in life areas that are important to you, and how to align your goals with those of your life compass, let's look at some tips for monitoring and measuring the goals you choose to work on. The more your goals, even if they are those of your life compass, conflict with your scripting and the expectations of your family, society, or culture, the more resistance you are likely to experience in attaining them. On the other hand, the more your goals differ from those of your own unique life compass, the more resistance you are likely to experience in attaining them. Many of the problems we have with attaining our goals are because, 1, they do not reflect the priorities of our life compass, or 2, we are doing them because we should, not because we want them, or 3, we have interior conflict. We have to give up other things that we want, like some addiction, in order to reach our goals. Or 4, we don't have enough of the right kind of support and accountability. So, in goal setting, you need to find the sweet spot of goals that support your life compass while not kicking up overwhelming resistance, either from others or from within yourself. As you think about these goals and getting started toward realizing them, that means your own goals from your own list of priorities, you may feel some resistance come up. It might be fear of failure, a sense of feeling overwhelmed, a sense of being persecuted by shoulds and oughts. Know that these feelings are normal, observe them, and continue for the moment. Write or describe what your life will be like if you fail at all of these goals and accomplish none of them. Write something like, I am alone, sick, and broke. I have nowhere to turn. I feel like a failure. I'm depressed and angry at myself for letting my life turn out this way. Pretty terrible, huh? So, what feelings does this bring up in you? Fear, sadness, regret, anger? If your feeling had a color, what would it be? Green, pink, black, brown? What? Now imagine that the color is gray and it is filling your room, surrounding you. Watch it swirl, condense, and congeal into a shape. Don't think of a shape, just allow it to take whatever shape it wants. An animal, plant, cloud, or a person. Let's say that it appears as an elephant. Now that your feeling has been personified, you can interview it to discover its function in your life, just like you would a dream character. In the process, you may find that your feelings are in no way a helpful or appropriate response to your image of personal failure. Now let's imagine your gray color congeals into that big elephant with giant tusks. We have just duplicated, in a sense, the nighttime dream creation process. We now have the equivalent of a dream character, but one that is the personification of your life issue, your fear of failure at your integral life practice. Now, we can have you imaginatively take the role of your elephant, or whatever image you came up with, and answer a series of questions that have been carefully developed since 1981. Your job is to pretend you are the elephant and stay in that role. You can hear what you think later in response to these questions. You want to hear what your elephant has to say. These questions are meant to confirm or deny that this elephant is a personification of your life compass and exists to help you develop an integral life practice that is supported by your life compass. Now, you may find that your elephant gives you all green lights. He may support all your efforts and have no suggestions for improvement. However, he may not only have recommendations, it's possible that he will have serious questions about your priorities and recommend a completely different set. If that happens, Why should you trust the figment of your imagination? First, you don't have to, and you shouldn't. You need to trust your own common sense. Second, how does your elephant score itself in confidence, compassion, wisdom, acceptance, inner peace, and wisdom? These are 6 core qualities of enlightenment, and we discussed these in our series on pranayama. If your elephant scores higher than you do in one or more of them, then it might be advisable that you consider that it is indeed an emerging potential that you have not yet grown into and that has something to teach you. Third, you can consult with other dream characters or personifications of your life issues to see if you get validating or conflicting responses. Fourth, you can again check out what you learn with people you trust. Once you learn the simple interviewing procedure, you can use it to monitor your entire integral life practice. You can use it not only to diffuse resistances, as Wilbert's shadow method does, but to align yourself more closely with the agenda of your life compass. An example of the interviewing protocol can be found at integraldeeplisting.com under interviewing. To avoid self-sabotage, you have to set goals that are authentic for you, that you are very committed to, that helpful others support, and that reflect the priorities of at least 3 different emerging potentials that you have interviewed. All 3 of these factors are very important, and the absence of one or another explains why most of us don't accomplish most of the goals we set for ourselves. If we aren't very committed to our goals, when our interest wanes, conflicting goals create internal resistance. If our external circumstances change, we are more likely to give up on our goals. If we lack the support of helpful others, we don't have enough real-world feedback to keep us on course and overcome unforeseen obstacles that inevitably arise. If we don't set goals that are aligned with our life compass, we risk pursuing goals that we want and that society wants for us, but that conflict with the unique pattern of integration that is attempting to emerge from within us. It would be like an oak sapling setting a goal to be a pine tree. It's not going to turn out well. I recommend that each of the goals you set be endorsed and supported by at least 3 different characters from dreams or life issues that you have previously interviewed. Just ask them what they think about your goals, such as, Brontosaurus, what do you think about my goal of moving to Singapore? Mango Tree, what do you think of my decision to cut off caffeine? If your interviewed character is of no opinion, take that as a green light and the absence of internal resistance. Monitoring your progress every night is a form of dream incubation to focus your awareness on your life priorities and those of your life compass so that your dreams are more likely to problem solve around core issues of importance to your life. It's designed to keep you on track the way homework assignments for schoolwork keep you on track to pass tests so you can graduate and move to the next level of your education. You're doing that for yourself instead of having it imposed on you by a teacher or employers, as is normally the case in life. You are attaining your goals instead of theirs. Be realistic with yourself. The bigger your goal is, the more internal and external resistance you can expect in your efforts to attain it. This is because big changes disrupt internal equilibrium and comfort zones while creating more adjustments in your relationships with others and your environment. And as we get older, the more difficult large changes become. The headwinds become stronger. Therefore, it is wiser to shoot for small, incremental, but solid and real changes than major life reconfigurations. With ideal interviewing, you get constant feedback on your progress and suggestions for dealing with resistance, new perspectives to become in order to help you identify with the strengths and capabilities you need to achieve this or that specific goal. And most important, to discover and incorporate goals that represent not only your emerging potentials, but your own unique life compass. Ideal goal setting is an organic process that emerges from within yourself. It's a dialogue between yourself, your environment, your accountability partner, and your interviewed emerging potentials. The result is a life with a meaningful direction that increasingly feels in flow with who and what you authentically are. Thanks for watching. The entire IDEO video curricula can be found at integraldeeplistening.com. See you next time.